15-year-old Rebecca Reusch sent a selfie at 7:46 a.m. and was never seen again. No CCTV, no phone signal, no goodbye, just pixelated smiles and a trail that stops dead in 96 haunted minutes. Did a trusted family member whisk her into oblivion, or is a darker predator lurking along Brandenburg's forest roads?
Welcome to Crime Bite.
In this channel, we peel back the layers of those hidden realities, raw evidence, conflicting testimonies, and emotional pleas for help that too often come too late. By looking into these crime bites, you'll see firsthand how broken trust, systemic oversights, and chilling motives can converge into stories that rattle us to the core. If you find this exploration as vital as we do, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and click the notifications button. Together, we can shine a light on the cases that demand attention, ensuring every voice, especially the silenced, finds the audience it deserves. Sometime between 7:20 and 7:46 a.m. on the 18th of February 2019, 15-year-old Rebecca Reusch sent her friends what looked like just another morning selfie. In the photo, she wears a candy floss pink teddy fur jacket, ripped jeans, and the black BTS hoodie she adored. Sunlight dribbles through veneered blinds. Nothing about her face suggests fear, only a teenager's practiced nonchalance. Lips tilted, brows relaxed, eyes fixed on possibilities the day might hold. Seconds later, her phone's Wi-Fi handshake with the router in her sister's townhouse drops offline. No classmate will ever see her breeze through the school gates. Rebecca had slept over at her eldest sister Jessica's house in the quiet Berlin suburb of Britz. Jessica's husband, known publicly only as Florian R., crept in around 5:45 a.m. after an overnight staff party. At 7, Jessica slipped out for work, leaving her little sister with the man police later called their sole suspect. By 9:40 a.m., Rebecca's seat in class was empty. By 3 in the afternoon, her frantic parents were at Neukölln precinct signing a missing person report. If your final selfie looked perfectly normal, would anyone realize it was a silent SOS? Or would the pixel smile fool every single friend who double-tapped it? Detectives quickly learned that Rebecca never left the property by the front entrance. Not a single neighbor's CCTV showed her pink jacket crossing the pavement. Yet by mid-morning, she had vanished along with her purple Puma backpack, Samsung phone, Instax camera, and a mauve fleece blanket missing from the living room sofa. Did she willingly climb into someone's car via the back garden? Was she carried out under that blanket by a man who knew the blind spots between motion sensor lights? Police dogs sniffed every hedgerow in Britz, sonar teams swept park ponds, volunteers stapled posters on lampposts where cherry buds were just beginning to swell against Berlin's late winter gray. But the crucial 2-hour window after Jessica left remained a black box. No phone pings, no bank card swipes, no bus CCTV. In a city wired with cameras and cell towers, how can 96 unaccounted minutes swallow an entire teenager without leaving the faintest breadcrumb? License plate recognition software flagged Florian's SUV traveling east on the A12 toward Brandenburg Forest at 10:47 a.m., barely an hour after Rebecca's last Wi-Fi blip. Next day, at 2:28 a.m., the same car pinged a stationary camera on the identical stretch. Investigators visualized a ghastly errand. First trip to hide a body, second to ensure it remained buried. They impounded the T-Roc, searching wheel wells and boot lining with luminol that glowed faintly, too faintly for court. Between reagent stains, officers found blonde hairs entangled in the cargo hook. Rebecca's mother confirmed they look like hers, yet mitochondrial analysis proved inconclusive. Contamination couldn't be ruled out. Defense attorneys argued Florian often chauffeured family members. Without blood, tissue, or a body, the SUV's sinister itinerary stayed circumstantial. When a single vehicle traces the same lonely road twice, does the journey map guilt, or merely the dead ends of an investigation starved for proof? Following the T-Roc's breadcrumbs, search teams swarmed the vast Kummersdorf woods and Muggelspree riverbanks. Helicopters buzzed low, IR cameras scouring for freshly turned soil or sun-warmed anomalies that might betray a shallow grave. Dive units combed lakes clouded with dead leaves, their flashlights slicing tea-colored water. A volunteer stumbled upon a charred fleece scrap near an old fire pit. Forensic labs confirmed it was polyester, not the cotton blend blanket missing from Jessica's sofa. Weeks of digging produced camping rubbish, fox skeletons, and eerie silence. The public watched live news feeds of each fruitless press briefing. Journalists compared Rebecca's case to Madeleine McCann, another girl whose image became a national fixation while clues evaporated. Every failure seeded forums with conspiracy loops, dark web abduction rings, BTS fan meetup gone lethal, random stranger theory. All the while, the investigation's spotlight remained fixed on Florian. If an entire forest is combed leaf by leaf and yields nothing, does that mean the killer hid her elsewhere? Or that investigators simply haven't asked the wilderness the right questions? On the 28th of February, Florian was arrested for homicide on urgent suspicion. His alibi, that he'd slept until 10 a.m. and then binge-watched Netflix, withered under data showing the T-Roc moving when he claimed he dreamt. But after 48 hours, a judge deemed the evidence too thin. Florian walked free, only to be rearrested 4 March after new data revealed his second late-night highway trip. 28 days later, still no body, no confession, no murder weapon. The court released him again. Cameras caught him emerging from Moabit prison, face expressionless, disappearing into a waiting Audi. Public fury split into factions. Free Florian, innocent until proven. Signs clashed with placards screaming, "Where is Rebecca?" The family fractured. Jessica defended her husband, while the Reusch parents begged him to say what he knew. Florian remained silent, invoking legal counsel. When the justice system cycles a suspect through its revolving door twice, does the public's certainty harden into prejudice, or does doubt erode every assumption about guilt? Investigators revisited Jessica's townhouse, focusing on the missing blanket and the kitchen oven, which forensics noted had been run at maximum temperature for an unusually long cycle on the 18th of February. Theorists spun dark fantasies. Was Rebecca wrapped in the blanket and cremated domestically? Thermal degradation tests showed fleece could vanish in 2 hours, leaving only ash and a calcium-rich residue, trace amounts of which were scraped from the oven floor. Yet the defense argued Jessica had baked lasagna that night. Burnt cheese often registers similar spectrographs. Without bone fragments or dental enamel, prosecutors hesitated. Still, news of the oven theory spread like wildfire, overshadowing subtle but vital lab work underway. Extracting micro soot particles from the T-Roc's cabin air filter, scanning them for keratin signatures. Early results hinted at human hair smoke, but cross-contamination could not be excluded. When science edges close to horror, yet stops just shy of certainty, how much darkness floods the imagination to fill that gap? The Samsung Galaxy's last handshake was the 746 Wi-Fi ping, but deep circuitry stored crumbs. Background app data showing a fitness tracker heartbeat signature spiking at 0753, then flatlining by 087. Experts cautioned the heartbeat could be steps counted in a moving car trunk. Meanwhile, Snapchat's location cache suggested Rebecca's device traveled east along the A12 for 28 minutes before entering airplane mode. Packet fragments pieced together reveal an unsent message in German. Bitte hör auf. Please stop. Timestamp 7:58. Whether typed in fear or anger, no one can say. Prosecutors petitioned to re-seize Florian's T-Roc infotainment unit. Its onboard Wi-Fi could have captured the phone's MAC address en route. The result? Storage chip overwritten by dealer diagnostics. Another lead suffocated by time. When a silent phone tries to scream through code and cache, who will hear it before the ones and zeros fade forever? Television appeal program Aktenzeichen XY ungelost broadcast Florian's blurred photo and the burgundy T-Roc, generating 1,200 tips within 24 hours. Some claimed sightings of a man dumping a bundle near Grosser Müggelsee. Others alleged Florian boasted of knowing how to make people disappear. Defense lawyers cried trial by media, citing Article 6 of Germany's Basic Law, presumption of innocence. Twitter polls skewed 80% convinced of Florian's guilt, yet each viral thread risked tainting jury pools should charges ever arise. Rebecca's mother, Brigitte, appeared on National Breakfast TV, clutching her daughter's stuffed BT-21 koala. Her voice cracked. "Please, if you remember anything, no detail is too small." Donations flowed. Search volunteers wore numbered bibs across miles of reed-choked shoreline. News fatigue eventually set in, but a core of armchair detectives archived every press scrap, convinced one frame held the key. When the public turns detective, Do thousands of amateur flashlights illuminate the truth or blind the path with glare? What happens when love and suspicion share a dinner table? Jessica defended Florian on television, insisting her husband would never harm Becky. The parents, torn between supporting their eldest daughter and seeking answers, retreated into separate grief spheres. Family WhatsApp threads grew silent. Holiday gatherings became minefields. Tabloids relished the fracture. Mother versus daughter, Berlin teen mystery rips clan apart. Behind closed doors, psychologists counseled the Reusches on ambiguous loss. Grief without a body, rage without conviction, hope and hopelessness coiling like barbed wire. The case file ballooned past 3,000 pages. Each tip reopened wounds. Florian's lawyers prepped defamation suits. Bloggers doubled down. When the only suspect shares your Christmas table, where do loyalty and justice draw their battle lines? 6 years on, Hope now wears silicone gloves and calibrates to microns. Next-generation proteomics can pinpoint individual body signatures from a single burned hair shaft. The char scrap near the forest fire pit is back under the microscope, along with particulate vacuumed from the T-Roc's cabin filter. AI cross-references biomolecular sequences against familial DNA databases. Early indicators flash amber, a partial mitochondrial overlap with Rebecca's maternal line. If confirmed, prosecutors could argue the forest was a crime scene, reviving warrants, reseizing Florian's electronics, perhaps compelling Jessica to testify under spousal privilege exceptions. But law moves cautiously. Defense teams sharpen their own experts. Rebecca's friends, now university students, organized the 7th annual Light for Becky candle walk along the spree. Each flame a vow that the pink jacket girl will not slip into folklore. When science stands on the verge of speaking Rebecca's truth at last, will the whisper be loud enough to break the silence? Or will the mystery of Berlin's vanishing girl echo unanswered for another generation? Somewhere in Brandenburg's pines, or perhaps much closer, Rebecca's truth still waits to be found. Each new forensic breakthrough, each shared post, each tip phoned in, tightens the circle around that truth. Share this episode on every platform. Comment if you remember that burgundy T-Roc, that purple blanket, or a detail the timeline might have missed. Pressure policymakers to fund routine retesting of cold case evidence, because silence protects predators. Don't let Rebecca's name fade. Smash like if her story moved you. Subscribe to keep your light on these forgotten files. Click the bell so you never miss the moment science finally whispers her truth. Until Rebecca comes home, or justice meets her halfway, the candles stay lit, and so do we.